Good evening. Namaste. It's a little before 7, which I'll be heading inside and serving up dinner here shortly. Did you wake up this morning and prep your day? Did you say, I am worthy? I am more than enough this morning? You see, the power of repetition, whether you prime yourself with the power of repetition or someone else comes into your energy field, proximity, and primes you with the words. What do you allow to have control in your life? I bring this to the table because a lot of times we stress over things that we are not actually able to control. We can't control what someone else does. We can't control how someone else thinks. We can't control how someone else feels in a situation. We can't control how the circumstances unfold. But we can control how we live in our life. Let me say that again. We can control how we live in our life. Every time you give someone else authority over you and how you live your life, how you show up, how you represent yourself, how you perform mundane tasks, how you might fit into a 9-to-5 role, how someone else may see you as one type of role figure but treat you as another type of role figure. So I bring this question to you. Who is in control of your life? Ask yourself internally that question. And if you thought of someone else, you're right. If you thought of yourself, you're right. The fact of how you think puts you in the rightness of it. Doesn't matter whether it's a positive thought or a negative thought. The power of your ability to think yourself in life is the catalyst that creates what you call experiential life, the canvas reflecting back at us. I said this in another video. Everything in our environment teaches us something about ourselves. And when we feel like something's not right, that's the intelligence within us, within our body, within our sensory system, within our electromagnetic field, that something is out of alignment to what you may have originally thought you were in agreement to. But as days unfold, clarity and truth reveal themselves. You cannot hide without light exposing it at some point. I bring this to your attention because a lot of our misalignment is putting our sovereignty, putting our belief, putting our trust, putting our faith in someone else's control. And they might glamour it. They might say, we'll give you this if you do this. But every day you wake up, you choose to get up or you choose not to. And what is the outcome of the occurrence? Do you stay in bed or do you get up? Do you laze around, or are you productive? What if you are in an infrastructure where you have a mountain of skills for multi different industries, and people rely on you as a contractor because you deliver positive, customer focused results? Not only in your words, not only in showing up and making a sale, but as you represent through the cultivation of your skill, and your experience that has been cultivated will show in the work ethic that you cultivate before them. And they will have their neighbors watching. They might have video on the outside of or a camera recording you on the outside of their house. And I say that because I'm not just a transformational coach, nor just a partner with staffing solutions and recruiting and partnering with businesses to help them with their role fulfillment needs. I'm also a landscaper. I'm also an artist. I'm also a musician. I am also a physical fitness instructor and trainer. I'm also a holistic chef. But you know what I noticed? Out of all of these things that I leaned towards, I had to go through and equip myself with the knowledge, and then at the foundation of that knowledge, build up through cultivation and repetition, which is coined as experience. Experience occurs in the present moment. Experience doesn't occur tomorrow. Experience occurs only in the present moment. Your recollection or recall of what was is just that. You are recalling a historical snapshot of an event that happened in the present moment of that present moment time. But when you shift your attention and focus to that historical point, and you don't take some kind of internal change of how you might have rendered a value to it, it remains the same. Drawing in like energy, like experiences, like people, to reinforce that as a living belief. But what if I told you that you are the creator of your own life? How you live your life is your choice. It doesn't matter if someone agrees with you or not. It doesn't matter if a parent says, you're never going to make any money from doing that. You're never going to amount to this. You never, etc., etc. All they were doing was planting seeds. And like a sponge, you started soaking it up. And what'd you do? You started hiding things that you were passionate about. And you tucked them away in a secret place within yourself. And you started living life through a facade, a life cycle of role fulfillment, a life cycle of donning the identity and character in someone else's story. When you are living your life as an extra character, you are no longer living your life as the author of your story, but the extra in someone else's story about you. How much power do you want to give away? Did you know any power that you give away, you can always reclaim back? And it's very simple. As simple as stating, I call back all my sovereign power that I have given away consciously, unconsciously, and subconsciously for whatever manner or purpose it served. I call it back and I release what is within me that occupied the space of where it rested at. So I bring that question back to you. Who is in control of your life? Who tells you what you need to do? Do you take it as direction, or do you take it as a factor of control? If someone's telling you that you have to dress a certain way, you have to be somewhere at a certain time, you have to perform certain duties, someone else is taking control over your life. And what are you doing? You're fulfilling the role at the behest of their desirability. Let's talk about this for a moment, because I had an interesting call. It was a call inquiring about working relations. And in this working relations, it was clearly noted about understanding the difference between being an employee and someone who is contracted to fulfill work. Now, you could find this on a website because it's public information. You can find it on the IRS, you can find it on Department of Labor. You can do your own due diligence and your own homework and equip yourself with better understanding. If someone is telling you that you have to behave a certain way, have to use their processes, have to use their software, have to use their equipment, tracking you in your movements and steps, telling you to dress a certain way or represent yourself in a certain capacity, training you to do the job, it is no longer a contractor-based relationship. It is an employee relationship with a misclassification as a contractor. As a contractor, you have the exclusivity of how you create your schedule, what you want to do, and you do not have to tell said entity what time of day that you're doing something. And in a real true contractor relationship, they will say, fulfill this project complete, get paid off of project completion. You have to have the ability to work for other industries, other places as a contractor, because if you have the exclusivity of working only for one primary domain, and I'm not talking about your own companies, I'm talking about other companies that you allow your energy, your services to be rendered through, must be open and available to other companies. Doesn't matter if that company feels like they're in competition or they feel like it's a conflict of interest. There is no conflict of interest when you are a contractor. There is only a conflict of interest when you are an employee employed by said agency. And guess what? As a contractor, you can't be fired. You can be told that we're not going to use your services anymore. Thank you so much. And you, as the contractors, could say, hey, I don't agree with how you run business tactics and ethics. I'm going to step away from this. If you want to say fired, yeah, you could say that you fired the client to perform contractor duties for. But again, that branches into the identity of a relationship rather than a contractor-based partnership. If I decide I'm going to provide lawn care services through another company, or I'm going to take on a project from another company as a subcontractor to perform said duties, I cannot be told how to do it. I cannot be taught what manner of ways to do it. I must have my own tools and equipment and transportation. I must use my own processes and how I get the materials. If that is on my scope, is I have to gather materials to perform said job, and it's not materials that is already prepared for said site, that's a contractor-based relationship. If you have a title given to you from an agency, not a title you created, a title given to you from an agency or entity, it establishes a relationship, an employee relationship. There's no such thing as a manager, a superintendent, a foreman as a contractor by an employee. So if the agency is trying to employ you as a contractor, know your rights. Know what is authorized and what is not. It does not matter what industry or what word useology that they use to tell you this is in the scope of the duties. No. The scope of your duties is this. You provide me a project, I complete said project. I move on. If I have a daily required interaction, Monday through Friday, hours to hours, and I have to send outcome notes, I have to write emails through company provided email software, use phone usage through company provided phone apps so that they can track and perceive communication that is occurring. There is no authorization for them to track what you are doing if you are a contractor. That is an employee relationship. And I encourage you to know your rights, to step up for yourself and take back control in your life if you are living your life as a contractor providing services, project-based services. So I ask you again, who is in control of your life? Who do you want to be in control of your life? There is no greater power outside of you to be in control of your life than the you within yourself. Be your own best advocate. Change up your thoughts that say, I am worthy of holding this position, and I do not give my sovereignty and my independent power over. If you want to be an employee, identify yourself as an employee, a W-2 employee. The number one misclassification is in construction-based industries and sale-based connectivities. If you are contracted as a 1099 contractor, you can only do contracting work for that person for a set amount of calendar days. And you have to prove credibility of providing contractor services to other industries. Otherwise, it becomes an ongoing relationship, and that becomes an established employee relationship. Know your rights. If you think I'm wrong, do your due diligence, look it up. Doesn't matter what state you are in, look it up. It's on the IRS website, it's on the Department of Labor website. And there's forms to fill out if you have to fill out forms. I brought this to someone's attention, and they tried to justify rather than take ownership and accountability and acknowledge the misclassification and expectations. Take back control of your life. And this is just one example. You go to the bar or some gathering place. And in that gathering place, you meet someone that connects with you. What image do you give them? The image that you think they want to see, or the image of your authenticity? Because the image that they receive from you is the image that will be impressed upon their mind. And if you are out of alignment and you come back to your authentic self that's not in alignment to what they were familiar with, you can have what's considered a friction in a relationship. Don't confuse that with everyday growth. Every day we are growing. Every day we are going through challenges to better ourselves. Every single second of every single day is a step towards the masterpiece of our unique life. And you are the creator of your life. Take back your control. If you would like to learn how to shed the layers and reclaim your sovereignty and live life with greater purpose and control in your life, determining what is allowed and what is not allowed to come near you, connect with me. I have done coaching for corporates, small businesses, group settings, workshops, one-on-one. My phone is listed. You can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on YouTube, you can find me on Google, you can find me on Yelp, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Linktree, you can find me on Nextdoor. And on Linktree, it has all of the links to each one of my social platforms, and there are course-ready content material to help you live your empowered self, unique self-life, and move you into elevated living. Check it out. On Facebook, I have the link in there. I might put a link later on in the description later here. But I want that question to resonate with you. Who is in control of your life? If you are so busy living your life, you have no ability or availability to try to control someone else's life, because what you are doing is you are serving two masters rather than serving your highest unique self. And your body will tell you when you're out of alignment. I love you guys. I'm going to go in, feed my family, enjoy some family time. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it swirl about in your diaphragm. Imagine the energy flowing through your body to every cell, pushing out every cell that doesn't serve you in the highest capacity. And with your exhalation breath, let it all release. Don't pick it back up. In this act of sovereignty and reverence, you have just released what does not serve you. Doesn't mean that you're done with your internal work. It just means that you are one step closer into alignment of your divine purpose. Have a great day. Be well.